We've been telling you about the large pro-Palestinian demonstrations at UT Austin this hour that have led to many arrests.
Joining us live is William White. He's the director of the local Council on American Islamic Relations. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. White. First off, I was going to say the Austin chapter did issue a statement condemning the arrests. So what is your stance?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I want to say that we condemn these arrests. This is abhorrent behavior by Austin Police, Texas Department of Public Safety, and UTPD to march as they did with horses and bicycles and police batons. I noticed that Texas DPS had about 100 rounds of ammunition strapped to their chest with their riot vest on. I think that's just frankly sickening. These are students on UT's campus who are protesting a war in Gaza, just as people were protesting wars in Vietnam in the 1960s and 70s. These students have the constitutional right to protest on campus, in the streets, on sidewalks, and that the University of Texas would deny that right to them, and in such a brutal and violent way, is frankly sickening.
Well, I just want to put it into perspective for our audience. The Council on American Islamic Relations is a Muslim civil rights and advocacy group. So I want to know from you just how effective you think protesting like this is when things seem to us as the audience to turn a bit violent.
You know, I think protesting is effective. The police intervention by Texas Department of Public Safety, by Austin Police, and by UTPD is what has caused this to be ineffective use of taxpayer dollars. Silencing students on a college campus is completely unacceptable when they're only practicing their First Amendment right, and opposing American tax dollars going to fund genocide and to bomb children and women, upwards of 35,000 women and children in Gaza. That is what's ineffective and unacceptable. People expressing their First Amendment right has and should always be protected, even in Texas.
Well, I believe that a lot of our audience would argue that they have to abide by the rules at the college, the university, and what law enforcement has put in place. Do you think that they're crossing a line at these universities here, especially the ones that we're following here in Texas?
You know what, I think as it pertains to the University of Texas in particular, they have already crossed the line. Just in the past 6 months, we have seen constant assaults on Muslim and Arab students on UT's campus, students receiving death threats, terroristic threats, while they're in college dorms or while they're in classroom buildings by non-students, students walking around campus being harassed and intimidated by non-students. That is what has crossed the line for me, is that the University of Texas has not responded to any complaints of assault, any reports of harassment by students or non-students on UT's campus. That is what is the real problem here. That is the real issue. And the fact that students want to take their First Amendment right and protest, there is no breaking the law while you're protesting. It's either you're protesting or you're not protesting. And you're protesting on a college campus in a public space with public funded dollars while you are a student on campus. To me, that these students would be treated in this way is simply sickening. I invite the audience, not only here in Houston, but across the state. If you actually stand for the First Amendment, then you will condemn these arrests with us.
All right, William White, thank you so much for your time. Also, we have covered some harassment that Jewish people have been facing amid all of this. We appreciate your insight into what's happening.
Thank you for having me.